Okay, the subject today. Well, it's all around us, isn't it? Coming from every direction. The world economy is being systematically dismantled to create mass dependency on authority, thus control by authority. And it has been systematically done over a long period, and now they've reached the point where they're not throwing the kitchen sink at the population, they're throwing the bath, the front door, everything. And you remember that crash, that economic crash of 2007, 2008, when again the economy was crashed, although even then not on the scale that's planned now. And see, this global cult, as I call it, has been putting the policies, the laws into place on an incremental basis, the totalitarian tiptoe, as I call it, just preparing for the time when they crash the economy and all these laws that most people don't even know about then kick in. So what they want to do is steal your money and create a situation, as Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum puts it, of the population owning nothing. They want your money, they want your house, they want your job, they want your mind. And after that 2007, 2008 crash, something very significant happened. Governments, the European Union and so on, started introducing something called bail-ins, as opposed to what happened in 2008, the bail-out, when the banking system, which through its greed and in many areas complete stupidity, but behind the scenes cold calculation, crashed the world economy and were bailed out by the very population that suffered from them crashing the world economy. And enormous amounts of money that future generations will have to pay off were thrown at the banking system that didn't suffer, but the population did. But there was another motive behind that. They wanted to introduce legislation, preparing for now, called bail-ins. This means that when there's another banking financial crash, the governments won't bail out the banks. The banks will have the right, through legislation passed, to take the money from the accounts of the people that have money in the bank. That's you. This is a Bank of England document executing bail-in, an operational guide from the Bank of England. It says, this is from July 2021. Bail-in is one of the stabilization tools available to the bank as resolution authority under the Banking Act of 2009. Bail-in ensures investors rather than public funds bear losses where a firm fails. And it says, in the light of the fact that bail-in is a crisis management tool, the bank reserves its full discretion, the Bank of England, to depart from the approach in the operational guide and template resolution instruments should it be judged appropriate in the circumstances of a particular case. And we've put that statement through our Orwellian translation unit, and it comes out as, we can do what we bloody well like. This is what's been going on in countries across the world. And this is the cult-owned, cabal-owned, created in fact, International Monetary Fund, the IMF, which has said that bail-ins are, quote, to ensure that bank shareholders and creditors pay their share of costs when a bank crashes. Oh, yes. Creditors. Do you know who they are talking about? You and me, and anyone who has money in a bank. You remember in 2013, after they'd got this stuff going, you had the bank crisis in Cyprus, and they used the bail-in technique. And depositors, savers in banks lost phenomenal amounts of money cumulatively to bail out a bankrupt bank, which had gone bankrupt through no fault of theirs. And this is now sitting there, the legislation's sitting there, waiting to be played when they crash the financial global system next time, and it's not far away, so that what they can do is the banking system takes the money of the depositors, the population, who've had no say in the bank's problems, and just takes their money. And that is a major way that they plan to create a situation, there are others too, where people will own nothing. That's the idea. You will own nothing, and you will be dependent for everything upon the global cult, the global elite working through global authority. So when you put money in a bank, you are in effect loaning the bank that money. They, in effect, own that money, which is why once you put money in the bank, they're telling you how much you can take out. And when you deposit money, you become what's called an unsecured creditor, which means under the bail-in laws, if a bank crashes, and you're going to hear the next crash on Saturn, they can just take your money legally. But then, what is legal? Legal simply means that a bunch of tossers in Parliament or on Capitol Hill who don't know their arse from their elbow pass laws that say this should happen. That makes it legal. Doesn't make it right, doesn't even make it lawful if you go deeper into it, but it makes it legal. And that's the trap, the massive financial trap that's been set and is about to be played. And okay, so how do you get round that? Oh, okay, so what we'll do is I'll keep my money in cash. I'll keep my money in cash. I'll keep it out the bank. Oh, really? Well, cash is flying out of circulation. More and more businesses will not take cash. They want cards. They want digital currency. And of course, what this occult is doing through its various expressions is bringing about in country after country the move towards a digital currency, and only digital currency, which you'll find predicted in my books going back to 1993. And there's something else called the derivatives market. I won't try to explain it because it's almost unexplainable, but let's just put it this way. The derivatives market, which this financial system is absolutely connected with and dependent upon, involves trading something against something that exists, but the something you're trading actually is just a theory, just an idea. And this derivatives market is said to be worth anything up to $600 trillion. I've even seen the figure of a quadrillion mentioned. When the derivatives market crashes, you will hear the bang in the next galaxy. And all this has been prepared for step by step by step, while the population was watching the sport, going down the pub, and getting on with its life.